which is like one of the premier with tiny kind of teams. They never pulled it out. Just shows that each tournament just really has its own meta bubble. But here at the Summit 4, the meta is I take Wisp, you take Tiny. So they're going to get a Queen of Pain, though, to go with it. Last time Queen of Pain was first banned, so the bans changed up a bit when NiP decided to remove the Shadow Fiend first, so they were able to snag up the Queen of Pain along with now this a la carte Tiny. But I believe, I can't remember, one of the statsmen out there said that Era's win rate on a solo Tiny, though, is pretty damn ridiculous. I want to say high 70%, like 78% win rate. It's really good. Well, if not the best non-Tiny or non-Wisp Tiny out there, you know?
That wouldn't surprise. I mean, Fnatic when Era was playing with them, used to run the Tiny without. They were the only team who'd run it as a carry without the IO. They'd just be like, oh, we just feel like a Tiny this game. If it fits the draft or whatever it may be, and Era, like the premier Tiny player as far as the Western Dota scene goes.
This one will be a farming Tiny. This will not be none of that off-lane business where they just hope that him and his Dagon-like combo is going to be enough to kind of get him the kills in the mid game. This Tiny will scale into the late game and could be a problem for OG if they're not prepared. So I got to say, though, OG get a nice second follow-up. The Slardar is going to be the grab for them, and I'm curious to see what OG want to do.
And curiously, the ban that we saw last game against the IO, the Wyvern, this time not banned. So NiP pick up Wyvern against IO.
Oh, man.
That is...
I got to say, NiP got a great three-man spread here already.
And it's great because Slardar is very much like you want to gear towards a physical damage draft. Go for something like the Slardar plus win range, whatever it may be. But Wyvern with Cold Embrace is a great kind of counterplay to that. So you see Wyvern and you've got Winter's Curse, Cold Embrace's defensive maneuvers. You're thinking we need to kind of diversify. We want to throw in some spell damage, get something like a Gyro or a Lean or whatever it may be. But then suddenly you've got this very kind of jack of all trades draft, but you're not really a master of anything, and that's maybe a problem for OG.
Makes me wonder if they should have thought twice about this ban on something like Lich. You know, they put the ban on Undying. It's like we don't want to have to deal with a lot of lane pressure, and then they ban the Lich. It's like we really want to make sure we don't lose a lane in the laning phase. But the problem is in the big picture here, with a Wyvern out there against your Wisp combo, that could be a problem later on. So I hope for OG's sake, with the way they're drafting this, that they're able to build up huge lanes here because of the fact that, you know, they banned out a way so that they could secure that. Tusk, Undying, and Lich, those are just like three heroes that want to have a good head start in their laning phase. And OG are going to commit for the Gyrocopter.
I mean, talked about not going all in physical damage against the Wyvern pick, and there we go. Gyro gets picked up. Typically good against the Cold Embrace because of the Rocket Barrage and cooldown setup, so... Nice little pick. By no means like, okay, this Wyvern's going to be useless now. Wyvern can still do everything he likes to do. It's just one of his useful spells gets somewhat counteracted by this. I have to see still what is going to be played in the mid lane for Team OG.
So Alchemist is not a thing anymore here, apparently, right? We haven't seen Alchemist anymore. It's just, I'm trying to think of, like, you know, stuff that we saw recently.
It's viable here for OG. They run it mid if they want to do the no-tail Alch mid and the Miracle Gyro in the safe lane. That'd be like a fourth. It's more like a fourth, fifth pick now. It's no longer like, let's get Alch in the first stage with like an Alch Veno or something. It's
or even like Ember. Ember also, just something that's kind of glanced over now.
And there's not like any obvious reason like, oh, this hero isn't going to really be good anymore because something else got buffed. It was very much like a trend that just somewhat disappeared.
I mean, the bans from OG would lead me to believe that they would commit for something like an Ember. Obviously now they got the Gyro. We know Ember not to be a great pairing with the Wisp, so the stars don't align this time, but just based on their banning pattern, it's like they want someone like an Ember who would not run into a whole lot of trouble. So
a lot of lockdown for Ember. You've got Jewel, Winter's Curse, the Blink Avatos. You've got Queen of Pain, who's going to likely go for an Orchid. So all four heroes, in theory, have some lockdown and control for Ember. But that applies for any kind of mid-hero that you might want to put Miracle or No-Tail on. Unless you're going to be, I mean, you're ideally going to be wanting to go into like some defensive items like a BKB or just tanking up.
Why the LC here and now? Is it to help to lock down the Gyro?
It's a Jonas hero. He plays it really well. It gives them some deep. They didn't really desperately need deep push necessarily. It does also purge off the amp damage with the press the attack. So it's a way to get rid of the amp from the Slardar. You've got some wave clear, and you've got good single target lockdown from Jewel. It's a decent pick. It's a bit weak in the lanes, and not a good comeback hero. So if it's something that you don't really play great with from behind.
Is he not one to play like the Brood mother, let's say? Like if you wanted to go for something like a brood mother instead?
Not known for his brood play. I've seen him do it once or twice, but he's not like one of those top-notch brood like DK Phobos or Mag or Misery, like what we've seen from those kind of guys.
All right. Well, I like the AA response here from OG. Helps against the sustained power of the Wyvern, obviously, and you know, against Legion Commander, you got an easy Ice Blast target with those duels, and it could help out a bit. And it adds a lot to their laning stage, to their level 1 game with that Chilling Touch. It could be pretty damn ridiculous here. Yep. Just getting this feeling that OG want to have a wonderful start. They want to push really hard in the laning phase, segue into a powerful mid game when that gyrocopter starts to peak at like that early peak of level 7, level 8 when you go out and start ganking. I just hope that for OG's sake to stay alive in this tournament, it doesn't run like last game where they have a plan in motion to get something done and then NiP pull out a bit of a lane swap and they're never able to kind of get to that point.
Yeah, and to be able to do that, I'm sure NiP will be looking to pick up like some strong laning support, because as soon as you have strong laning support, you can really mix up your lanes. You can go for the aggro trial lanes, you can run more dual lane setups. They've got strong cores. Legion very good in the lane stage, has good kind of level 1 spells, be them the defensive press the attack or a nuke to give you some movement speed as well as some last hit potential. So
who is that hero then?
The support to go with this?
A defensive support, you say?
Or a strong laning support. It doesn't have to necessarily be you've already got the Wyvern, which has some defensive capabilities. I think you want something with a bit more like uptime, since
Spirit Breaker is that too all in?
I don't really like a Spirit Breaker plus Legion duo. I feel like that's not the best. Jakiro could be quite nice.
Coddle,
that's an NiP pick.
I don't know why they would ban that. That hero's dead now.
Coddle Legion, that's
0 and 13, I think. 1 and 13 or
There's
something.
There's a team who can make it work. It's NiP though. These guys play Coddle more than most teams.
I'll believe it when I see it.
OG, we're scared of it.
What about getting like a Skywrath Mage? I always think of like
that's
LC as like the poor man's Faceless Void back in the day, and you got the easy Mystic Flare combo with the duel.
Oh, that's good. And that's a good point. They don't actually have like you're looking at what damage you dump on the duel. You've got a tiny combo. They go for Disruptor though. Pretty vanilla.
But obviously can't fault them on it. Go against a Wisp, get the lockdown, get the hell out of here, send them right back with a Glimpse. Easy to get good catch out. And even heroes like AA, who like to be out on the side lanes by themselves, are now going to be like, ooh, I hope to God there's not a Disruptor on the corner here. And the response is a disgusting, terrible Viper. Oh, that's not an AK MMR kind of a hero. I want style with my AK. I don't want Viper. Viper's like a click and farm and click.
This is where you sub in your 5k MMR player to play. Like, all right, we picked Viper. We don't need you, Miracle. You can set out this game. We don't need you.
Well, a lot of lane emphasis here, whether it's the bans or the picks from the side of OG. Viper obviously going to be very good against the Tiny, helps kite the beast, keep him back a bit, and even works out nicely against the Legion Commander here. You know, you got to hope for OG's sake, though, that they do have that strong start, because late game could also be a bit of a problem. Let's say this LC strings together some good dual damage, Era's able to farm up on his Tiny. It could be rough.
And this is actually a fantastic Viper game too. Is the thing, and it's a hero that's had a lot of success lately. I think teams are realizing you don't just play him as the mech rusher who then sieges towers. You play him like kind of similar to like what Fata does on Razor, where he just farms a ton and then scales well into the late game with items like Manta or SMY, into BKB, into Assault Caress, into Heart of Taras. You go for these big late game items and you don't want to ever stop farming. It's not like you hit like a mech. It used to be in the past you get mech BKB and you stop farming and just push and 5-man. Now we're seeing Vipers say, okay, that doesn't work. I got to go late. And as far as how it matches up against this NiP lineup, it's fantastic. Against the Tiny, you kite him around. You've also got earlier on, Corrosive gives you a ton of survivability against Queen of Pain and the Tiny nukes as well, so the spell damage is being negated. It's a great Viper game.
Yeah, remember the days of the Agnum's Viper? That was something. Dota, the always evolving.
Yeah, I mean, on paper it should be the item to get against the Tiny, because you just want to spam ulti on him, but I don't think we're going to see it just because it's not a great upgrade anymore. You're better off going DPS /
get that Manta, so you can Manta off a Glimpse. Real style points right there.
That would be the AK MMR play.
So no early
Manta dodges.
Off lane TP to secure an early ward here. Only NiP kind of roaming together here. They get that casual ward down to block out the camp, and they're waiting on the high ground in hopes that someone will come lurking to the bottom rune. Nobody though, as most OG are looking to secure crit the rune at the start. On this top lane, So it looks like NiP will eventually be like, yeah, let's just kind of split things up a bit.
Ooh,
Now they're
another
putting
aggro
Jonas
trap
to the
lane,
top
yeah.
lane here. NiP found success in the last game with an aggro setup, and they're looking to do the same here, gods.
Yeah. And Moon again will get like a straight, I want to say, kind of easy lane in the sense that he's getting farm. He's not playing the true off lane.
They're still waiting for Fly, and Fly's like, humdy-doo, I'm just going to go up here, and oh my lord, there's 2 supports! Oh god, Krav Maga is not going to help me here. He is dead. That is easy first blood right now for NiP. And the swollest member of OG goes down.
Oh. Well.
That was good patience from them. They just knew that eventually, based on support patterns of OG, that they would eventually just get their catch. If not, maybe they were hoping to make an early go on the mid lane. Either way, it works out well for Ninjas.
Miracle just bullying Limp here from the start, and he has not got Blink, almost managed to locking down the poison attack.
Let's go right into the south. Damn Viper. Look who's still hanging out nearby the mid lane, by the way. If Fly was to come back again, even crit, they're still missing from the map. Where are these supports at?
What's he doing? He's got his bottle, but IO just one of those heroes that with the bottle rush, you've got no stats, you've got no survivability at level 1, and Viper may be in some trouble here.
Miracle's like, haha, I'm gonna bully Limp because that's what Viper does. But oh, okay, he makes a quick call, goes up north here, but Viper is slow. We know he is slow, and this dragon is taking flight, and he's gonna catch him with the Arctic Burn. Miracle's in trouble, and even Jonas is getting in on the action here. He'll move in and get the last hit. Rotation KS.
TP from top to mid. That was a unexpected, bizarre TP.
All right.
I'm just like, I don't know if he meant to click bottom and misclicked his mini-map, because he wasn't really needed to secure the kill. I guess he thought Viper was running forward and harassing Quap, but yeah, that was an odd TP. Unless he's actually going to rotate mid, but it doesn't.
He got the kill, so he's like, I guess it was worth the trip. Yeah, I'll take it bottom. But he might get a taste of his own medicine, maybe. Oh, I was gonna say, Flies up on the other side with this guy right here, Crit. They show up and they're looking to turn the tables onto him. He drops down the nuke, and he is gonna turn around and run away. And he'll just have to regen up a bit and make his place back on that bottom off lane. NiP off to a nice little start, 2-0.
Yeah, still you've got a free farming gyrocopter on the side of OG. You've got Moon in the off lane getting farm as well as levels, so it's just the mid lane, which has just been not the lane you'd expect for a Viper of all heroes, known for his lane dominance, and I think that's partly why NiP have put this emphasis on helping him out.
Yeah, Moon can be an X factor this game for OG. If he gets a lot of farm on his Slaughter, gets that early blink or any sort of early initiation, whether it's that or the Force Staff, he could definitely be a problem. But he's not going to be hanging on the lane for long. It looks like he is already looking to turn the corner and head his business off elsewhere, which it's look like stacking duty for now. Yeah. So they'll build up some stacks here for OG to fall back on eventually, but I'm not convinced yet that the laning stage is going the way they planned.
I think eventually being the key there. They don't have any hero to really farm it until much later on with Gyro.
Yeah, Gyro.
But he needs items like levels farm before he can do that.
Yeah, but why couldn't like Crit or someone be over there to make the stack instead? But I guess they wanted to make sure Crit was by the side of Miracle in the lane instead.
I think this top lane's just suddenly become unlaneable for the Slider with Tiny showing up level 4. You've got Ava toss combo. You've got a disruptor up there with Glimpse and Thunderstrike. There's too much damage for the Slider to lane against right now. So he's actually just gonna help secure runes and roam around trying to find openings to help out his team, maybe even find a kill.
Yeah, that is not, though, ideal for a Slider. Not one of those heroes that can fall back and jungle farm instead. So now he's just kind of slithering around, trying to find a home for himself here. And it's going to be the roaming Slider now. Yep. But prime of that is already past, so it'd have to be a bit ambitious here to make a catch.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll have to see if OG are going to have to recover here. And as you said before, it is No Tail who is the breadwinner of this laning stage. Not for long, as Era is nipping at his heels. He's just going to have to make the best of it. But for him to get a kill in this lane, it seems a pretty far-fetched. Jonas is still trying to get to level 4, which he grabs right now. But Sealkid now going to be taking over the farm in the mid lane on his Wyvern here. Got to get him some levels, as he's only a mere level 2.5. A bit flaccid right now.
And Limp was going for a rune, got beat there, but the Slider met him there and prevented his regen from kicking in. So very much the Sealkid kind of keeping the lane warm while Queen of Pain's gone home.
I like that a lot. Well, Limp will head back here and...
What happens to Limp's... Does Limp not have... He hasn't farmed a bottle yet. He's actually... I was about to say, like, is his bottle in a curry or something? And then, no, he's just... being able to farm a bottle.
You can see the punishment from this Viper lane, though.
Yeah, this is... They may have killed the Viper, but this is a lane being heavily won by Miracle. Limp's actually getting destroyed.
It is one lane for, I don't know. They get the mid for sure. Top is not going the way of OG. That is definitely an NiP lane. It's just a matter of which safe lane's getting the most.
And Moon did get at least a fast level 3. The problem is, how's he going to get his level 5 and 6 and get the amp damage online?
You gotta get a kill here. That's what you gotta do. If he fails his kill or goes down, then this Slardar is going to be a bit behind.
He should fail because there was a ward that spotted him, right?
Yeah.
On the top of the bottom rune, right above it. So Moon will fall back and rotate towards bottom.
He's like, no, bottom. We're gonna go for bottom now. Sprints down there, and Jonas is like, I know you're coming.
Is a man without a home right now. He can't gank mid. There's a ward. He can't gank bottom. He can't go top because he'll die.
Just want to fight.
He is a refugee.
He's a gypsy or something. Yeah. He'll find somewhere hopefully soon. Maybe just kind of even leech in some XP of these sweet stacks or something. Otherwise, they'll be dreaming of a day when he'll have that.
He'll get to catch up when Notel starts teeping around. I think this is where Notel, he's a bit low on HP now. He's brought himself Tangos as well as FaZe and Aquila. He's going to pick up a TP and look for probably a rotation soon with cooldown, and that's when Slardar gets to catch up. So
to where though? Top lane maybe to get Era? He's got power treads now.
He can't do it alone is the thing, and that's where mid lane may be the safer rotation. And this is where I saw this a lot yesterday with their drafts against VP. They often don't have a great initiator in their early game with their supports. They pick 2 supports with no lockdown or slow, so their initiation comes when Moon hits his blink timing. Last game was the blink tiny. This game it's a blink Slardar, so
Moon's back.
They can't hit, like, a Gyro hits level 6, you want to have some kind of a setup, like a Rubik or something, and these are just not heroes that OG draft for their supports, and I think it is a bit of a weakness in some of their drafts.
Again, they're trying to go for the mid lane, but they know this is happening, so they'll take this moment to go and find farm in the jungle instead of just sitting back and waiting for the gank to dissipate. So this is good. NiP utilizing the most of their time. Limp's very low, and everyone's just going to casually farm up a bit. This will allow OG to get some damage on the tier 1. It's not as much, and they still have a 4-man commitment here that's not getting anything for it. So they'll have to pull back, and again, Moon, still, not even level 4 yet. Hard life here for the Gypsy as he still continues to slither his way anywhere to be relevant. And for No Tail now, he's getting to level 7, getting to that point when you can start getting that TP scroll and hope to warm up the cannons with a big cooldown, but...
I don't know why he has... I looked... No, that's not his TP on the crew. I'm not sure why he hasn't got a TP. That to me is a big mistake. Even if he's not looking to rotate now, just have one on you in case NiP go for a dive somewhere. They've got Sonic Wave. They're likely to go in the aggressive soon.
I mean, could Era even kill Moon here with just a combo? Moon's pretty low, 663.
Yep.
Gotta be careful.
And if he goes in, you want the Gyro to be able to TP in for a cooldown Rocket Barrage counter initiation.
Era's like, I'm just gonna hit this tower with this catapult. Look how much damage he did to it. Tier 1 is...
Yeah. Damage for XP on Moon. So Moon happy personally because he gets closer to level 5. And here we go. Gyro ready to roam, TPs towards mid. He's drawing lines on the map saying, let's go top. Where's our smoke, guys?
Yep, this is it. Or he does the stack. It's like, we either get a kill or I'm doing this stack, guys.
They haven't got a smoke. This is
they're jungle farming over across the ledge here. They know what's going down here. When you look at the vision, they don't know.
It's daytime, though. They're just going to see Gyro's just running up in daytime without a smoke.
Hey guys, I'm here.
This is not that bird. This is not the play. This is really questionable from OG.
It's a bit awkward. Well, they're not going to find anyone. The Wisp Illusion will scout out the farming on the side, but eventually OG is just going to have to pick something to do. Either go fight or go do the stack.
Yeah.
So right now they're just wandering around.
You can't TP Gyro mid and then not smoke him. Like that to me just makes no sense. I don't know if there was some miscommunication or if the smoke was... There's a smoke on Fly, but Fly's bottom. He's like, okay, Gyro's going to go rotate. I take the safe lane.
Yeah, my time to get
cooldown whiff. Ooh, what's going on?
This is eagerness from OG.
They
will get Seal Kid with it, but...
It's still very...
They're reaching.
They're all over the place right now. I don't know. It's normally a team really on point with their just general coordination and teamwork, and we're not seeing it here.
They're very thirsty right now, and they get a little bit of something there, but still very parched as they migrate towards this mid lane.
Copalty at bottom.
Oh, Fly, who is like, I'm going to farm bottom. Yeah, not happening. Limp gets killed, but back at mid lane here. Era, woo, turns the corner to run away as they try to come in from behind. Crit's still not level 6, so they do not have relocate ready to go, but already the nuke's coming down from Jonas here, trying to slow them up, and the tier 1 is going to be glyphed. Woo! 16 life left. Will it get denied? No way. Miracle will get the last hit here, and Moon, tries to shuffle in, but can't get close enough for the crush. Looks like OG, you're going to have to pull back, and maybe this is time for them to step back and do some of these stacks. No, they're going to push back the top lane, it looks like, for now.
Yeah, and this is something OG like they're always very efficient with their overall farm. We saw it kind of last game even when they were playing from behind, but They need to put together a game plan to take objectives and to win some fights. And again, it just feels like it's going to be all up to Moon to get a Blink Dagger timing.
Oh, I missed another kill, don't worry. Any complaints you can forward to Gods here. Very rusty.
What is Hip TV?
Very rusty here, let me remind you.
Yeah.
But still NiP slightly etching ahead at this point. You could just feel that Team OG are like, we got to get kills at this point in the game. And ooh, crit, grabs the rune. He needs a tether partner. Save me, whee! Goes up to the high ground. We'll make it away to No-Tail now. And look who's looking to cut him off. And Era steps in, gives him the combo. And No-Tail eating a lot of the damage here. Will end up going down. Crit obviously with no secondary tether can't help him. And heal will get dropped. Era will live. Backs up in bottles. Here comes Moon. Sets up a nice crush. Jonas will be going down as the exchange, but still a 2-for-1 advantage for NiP. So they will double back here. Limp, who obviously does not have the Sonic Wave, committing it on the fly, will take, what, 3 names across the board all day? And they will only lose their Legion commander.
That was about a 2,000 gold swing or something in the end there.
Shot from downtown will hit Era. Oh! Fly gets the catch here. Is it going to be enough? No, level 1. I don't think so, unless he just swaps his treads and kills himself. Which would be awesome, but I hope he does not. He will not.
Yeah.
He's going to be fine.
I mean, as much as I've been kind of criticizing OG, they're still quite far ahead. They won the lane so hard that it doesn't really matter that they're messing up their rotations and not kind of being successful. They're dominating with the Viper and Gyro. Both of these two heroes free farmed away in their lane, and as a result, NiP are the ones who can't really fight just based on their item disadvantage, but very much I feel OG should be even further ahead. I feel like they should be just completely taking control of this game, gotten kills on the Gyrocopter, and done more. They are now going to start pushing down towers. They took the T1 mid, they're going to swing top. Miracle going to finish off his mech with the tower gold, and OG going to relocate bottom. Here we go, Jonas.
Jonas in trouble. Look at a sidestep here and will not make it away. It's been a hard game for the LC, who is level 6 but is yet to get off a duel. But hey, they get a glimpse back on the little ball, and Era throws it up like a basketball and is quickly going to deflate it. A 1-for-1 trade. Quap gets the catch up here with No-Tail. And No-Tail levels the rocket to use it, which will be quickly canceled, and there will be no chase. So makes it back and away just fine. And man, OG, for a team that doesn't nearly have as many kills and does feel like they're coming up short, as you said, they have a lot of farm here. I mean, Mech already on Miracle. Moon, who was like trying to get to level 4, is now level 7 and has nearly 1,200 gold. They are on the hot track to get themselves into a good mid game.
And it's not just the cores. You've got an AA with 30 CS who took over that safe lane, who has a Midas recipe. So the cores, the safe lane, and the mid both getting a lot of farm. The AA getting some farm. Slider not great on farm, but he's going to still get a decent timing Blink Dagger just by the sheer fact that he has not died yet this game, and they're getting tower gold. So you don't die, you get some tower gold. That Blink will come 15 minutes in or so.
This is also a chance for NiP to get big here, as the Blink Daggers on Era. Ice Blast top lane though. Hanskin's in trouble. They're going to try to glimpse back, but the call down comes, and oh man, they're going to clean house. They quickly drop out to OG now, taking over, and they will follow it up with a tier 2 tower. They have just suddenly spiked their way into a huge advantage. Score is 6-6, but I assure you OG are taking over at this point, and there is some pressure on NiP to kind of step it up with this Blink.
A great Ice Blast from Fly. He not only hit the 2 heroes, but they gave him the scouting information. They didn't have a ward on the cliff or anything, so they were kind of pushing blind with it being nighttime as well, so they didn't know who's behind the tower ready to defend until the Ice Blast scouts them out, and very much just OG using their far superior early game draft here to take down towers. This is what Viper does best, which is just go from objective to objective. He has max corrosive, has a mech, the magic wand. They've got great sustain. The IO sits back and heals people up if they get in trouble, and not only are they going to get the tier 2 top, they're going to now swing mid and get another tier 2 tower, it looks like.
Yeah, they know they can commit for this. Era's bottom lane. It's not like he has a way back with an easy wisp, so this will be the second tier 2 takedown now for OG. And they're rotating towards this bottom lane. No-Tail will just kind of keep off the pressure a bit, but the tides have turned since game 1, Gods. Now it is going to be NiP who need to kind of take the throne back. And they just, no one's finding any items in farm. Jonas is really
hard game
for LC, Legion. I'd have to say. Yeah, this is no dual damage right now, and I don't foresee any significant dual damage coming her way anytime soon.
LC in general is just going to be one of the most volatile picks in Dota of like the last couple of patches where I feel like it's got a sub 50% win rate, but when it works ridiculously well, but most of the time it just
I don't know if
it
this
feels,
is one of those
falls
games.
like it falls really flat.
Ooh, Seal Kid does get hit in the face with the Ice Blast. No Tail looking to commit in with the help of the Tether and the move speed. Seal Kid, he's going to the trees. They relocate in. They're going to get them to the vision, and they take him down. The Dragon gets slain. Era comes in, and man, they annihilate Crit. They're looking for a follow-up on the No Tail. There's the duel. This could be the first damage awarded. If they can burst him down, they can. Jonas will finally get 10 damage added to his name, but they have got to get out of here with murder. It looks like they will be able to.
And I mean, at this point in NiP, they're just all in on the Era Tiny. He's going to be the big comeback potential for this draft. And he's got good step around him. You've got Jewel, you've got some good burst damage from the Quap, but Era is the late game for this team, and he's looking pretty good. He's 4-0, has 2.3k gold after the Blink Dagger, so has found himself off to a hot start here.
On the other side, though, now Moon has his Blink Dagger, so we'll see if OG look to try to use that now to move on in.
Yeah.
There was a team that had a 5-on-5 fight in the mid game, which I guess for OG's sake, you can't really see too much of a 5v5 fight, but let's say they land an Ice Blast and then go into a fight. Do we wager they have the better team right now?
Oh yeah, and a lot of it is just having the mech advantage on their side. I think able to negate a lot of the AoE damage coming out from NiP, and just, I mean, Viper, max corrosive is so hard to fight into.
Yeah, he's Yasha too. He's farm, man.
Oh yeah.
I hate Viper, but can't deny the fact that he is the meat right now of this team.
Here comes NiP.
Alright, Ice Blast will connect on Limp after the crush was set up. Tries to go quickly into Yules, but he will still have the damage. Moon blinks on in, but it's right into a Static Storm, and he's going to get tossed and killed. Now Miracle looking to move in for Seal Kid, who has to go into a Cold Embrace, but he is not going to be living that much longer. Does go down. Jonas commits in, but can't get the dual catch. Miracle just sidesteps and goes right for Hanskin. Gets the kill, gets the double. Now goes for Limp. Limp gets off the Sonic Wave, is able to blink back and away. No Tail looking to go for it here. And Crit moves on in. They're looking to go for Jonas. Jonas pops a TP. He's gone. NiP lose 3 all day. They only lose Moon. On the side of OG, they got to be happy with that. Could have gone even worse for NiP there if they were able to get the catch on the Limp and Jonas. But they'll be able to follow it up after taking down the 2 and go for a tier 2.
Yeah. Just too much thrown onto the slider there. I think NiP felt like, oh, we can turn into a 4v5, but with how strong the Viper and Gyro are and how much...
Oh, they're going back in for more. Miracle feels confident, wants to go for Jonas, and Jonas does not like that. Has to back up here.
Ice Blast.
NiP on the return. They can't do this without Era. Oh, Seal Kid just rattled apart right there from the Rocket Barrage. Is going to be taken apart, and Miracle is dominating on this Viper. Yeah, this is his peaking moment, and he is taking full advantage of it.
He comes Arrow with a Shadow Blade, but I don't see him able to bring down the Viper.
He's going to come right behind No Tail, and they have the vision. They have a Sentry. He's going to drop the call down. They're going to run. Era's in trouble. He's able to toss out Moon as he blinks in, but he is not going to be making it away. He gets chased down, and what a Sentry ward there. They think it's on the high ground. I mean, it might as well be with how close it is, but because of that Sentry, they see the flank attempt, and they punish Era for it.
And it was very much, I mean, that Sentry was planted minutes ago to just de-ward, so something that you've got to somewhat kind of anticipate, but you never really know. I think Era just feeling...
Crush?
They didn't actually, they didn't de-ward this high ground ward.
No, it's not de-warded.
Yeah,
they figured out that it was there, but they don't...
Waste of time.
They don't have a Sentry for it, and at this point, I don't know if it's going to matter.
Oh, they've got the Sentry on the low ground. They could take... at this point, Viper's just saying, any attack on the ward could be an attack on Rook.
Oh, them looking at that ward. Oh,
yeah.
I thought you meant NiP, not Sentry.
Oh, no, NiP ward could be taken out.
You don't want to go close to that pit right now?
No. And they're kind of just letting it go, I guess.
Oh, OG. Great position now.
Oh, they
coming off that first game loss. They are thirsty for this win. Era is back now. Went down last time, hoping that he doesn't get scouted out from a Sentry. He crosses the river, but there is no one on the other side unless he's planning on getting a full catch on the fly, which I do not see happening. OG are already on the move towards the top lane here, where they could see Seal Kid, and they both TP away. They are not comfortable with this position. How's their vision looking? Oh, NiP a little bit in the dark, especially in their jungle territory. OG can farm this up, and NiP are just not going to be the wiser.
Yeah, Era's moved down towards the bottom side of the map, farming the enemy jungle, farming the bottom lane, which is actually the safer place to be, because OG want to be aggressive. They want to be fighting on the dire side of the map, and looks like for now they'll stop off, farm the Ancients here. No Tail sitting on 3,000 gold, so even though you've got a big lead here, and you've got yourself an Aegis, you've got your 3 core heroes all sitting on, like, something like 6,000-7,000 gold split between the three of them. So you'd rather pick up like another item or two and then go towards like the last minute or two of the Aegis time.
It's stack farming time. If you're OG now, and No Tail is going to be happy to just go crop picking. He's up to a sporty 3,600 now, 3,700. Whew. Makes a quick buy, and what's he got? He's going for the BKB here. Nearly complete. He just needs to farm up another camp or two, and this gyrocopter is going to be hard to stop. Era's combo is not going to be doing a whole lot of extra work, and it's going to be a taste of your own medicine from the previous game.
Just 9 to help them fight and even possibly push high ground right now. I'll have to see if Viper goes for something similar, or if he decides to maybe go for the more just stats oriented, or not so much stats oriented build, but HP build like a heart. And AC gives you some more push as well.
I mean, you are taking on Miracle, you're going to be forgetting about No Tail's gyro, and they get a catch on the limp with that vision, and it is just a lot of hate. Woo! Even a relocate coming in just to pop himself right on the grave. They're going to be fine, make it out. Meanwhile, nearby, Jonas is trying to mango up in hopes for a side lane pick, but that's not happening. Up above, it's Hanskin who's getting caught out. No Tail moves in, rocket barrage,
he had a BKB for the glimpse. Jeez, No Tail, that was ambitious. Wasted BKB.
It was 10 seconds, now down to 9.
It's more it's on cooldown for the push.
They're hoping they get him out, though. He does not have Static Storm for a high ground defense. They can feel that much more comfortable moving to the high ground, which they already are, but now they see NiP pull back.
No, he didn't even use the static, he just TP'd out, so...
Well, I'm saying if he did kill him, maybe he was like, if I BKB and I can kill him, then we don't have to worry about that Static Storm.
Yeah, that would have been worth it, so they could get... They still get a bit of damage dealt to the tier 3, but... Bit of sloppiness. They also lose the IO bottom to a tiny combo, so... NiP at least delaying things for now while the Aegis is online, and...
You see a golden opportunity and you just don't want your eyes to be
much like last game with NiP, it's like, yeah, they may just play things slow and not get like a Rax or win the game that fast, but they're still just so far ahead. They've got complete map control. They're the ones farming, and they're going to scale well into the late game with Slada going for like a BKB, Viper going for more late game. You've got Gyros getting a butterfly.
Oh, they got a catch onto Era with the Blink Crush from Moon. Ice Blast is going to be there, and call down. Era is done for. It's going to be out nearly 50 seconds. Does have a buyback. Might need to use it here. Looks like OG, their intentions are to push into the high ground. I mean, all the meanwhile, they had a little co-op mission here to try to put some wards down in OG's territory, but they got to worry about their own base at this point. No Tail going back in. He's going to get it healed up here from Crit. He has the Aegis, and this tier 3 is going down. Possibly the Rax if NiP don't get a big fight here with their Curse, which they don't even have the mana for right now. They're going to need some serious Wombo combo to keep OG back.
Yeah. It looks like Miracle just gonna, earn himself back up. He's got the mech as well. They've got such great sustain with the IO. You can get the double heals from the mech that earns, and as a result, this is going to be a free lane of Rax. NiP opting to save the tiny buyback. Just to give up a Rax and then just buy some time with the Aegis is kind of out, but OG actually back off.
Yeah, I was feeling maybe NiP wanted to go for a last second glimpse, but OG don't want to even allow that opportunity. They will head out sooner than later. Happy to take the range Rax.
Safe play against the Disruptor. And they're like, kind of, as mentioned, I was kind of getting to before, it's very much like last game with NiP. It's like, they didn't even have to get a Rax in the next 10-15 minutes, as long as they're playing smart, just methodical Dota, where they're getting further ahead, they're controlling the map. NiP only will ever have 1, maybe 2 heroes getting some farm, which is mostly just the tiny, as well to a slight extent the Queen of Pain. For OG, it's 3, 4, 5, even 4, 5 heroes getting farm and items. You've got double Midas now with Slatter as well as AA. You've got farm going this way as well as Gyros. You've got the ability to farm Ancients, to farm Jungles. So taking a range Rax in the tier 3 tower there was just a bonus for OG. They're in no rush.
Yeah, OG at this point in the game are further ahead than NiP were in the previous game. So they are in a nice position now, and it's going to be pressure on NiP to be able to pull this game back, and you're doing it with only a 24 bonus damage on your LC. I mean, Era has a Shadow Play now for some cute play setups, which is nice. Maybe even before they're able to get off like a BKB or anything, you can get off some good early damage, but his late game follow-up is not going to be there yet. And already OG are working towards that point as they, again, are now trucking down this mid lane. They want to finish off what they had started here and see if they can pull NiP back from these side lane pushes, which looks like might have to be the follow-up plan here for NiP. They will TP back now, and we'll see OG look to finish off this second melee Rax. And I don't know, it's a scary team to fight into. Lots of high ground pressure for NiP. I mean, you've got the Sonic Wave, Winter's Curse, and Static Storm combo.
It's really solid high ground defense for NiP, which is where, as far ahead as OG are, they're not going to...
You gotta have respect for it.
Yeah, they're going to respect it. And very much an like AoE-focused high ground defense, so when they do push, it's going to be like just the Viper on the high ground, right-clicking away by himself, slowly sieging away. Gyrocopter, maybe. If there's ever the two Gyro and Viper on the high ground, it's because they're kind of split apart. They'll never look to group up so that the Tiny can stun two, or the Disruptor can catch out two in a static storm. Similarly, the Winter's Curse, if that hits 2 or 3 of the cores, it's just... Then OG are looking at a bad fight.
No, they are beelining it back into their woods here, under a smoke even, to catch out NiP, and it looks like Hanskin... Okay. Oh god! He's dead.
Not the hero they were hoping for, but a pick nonetheless, and it's not really a... No, that's not really like a kill in the classic sense where that's going to do a whole lot for OG, no. But it's OG who are still controlling this game and ahead.
Bit by bit.
Jeez, I guess there's no gem on the Radiant side, there's just some sentries around, so he's feeling kind of confident here.
Miracle has an Eagle Song now, soon to be a Butterfly already on this Viper.
Yeah.
I don't know how the hell you plan on hitting him. If you duel him, it's not going to be very effective, and Era, if he's hoping to dish out some huge right clicks after the combo, not going to be so easy.
And just seeing more and more of this like carry Viper
he's going for Wisp though. Get that little ball. Boom! Bang! And I'm done. I can't do this. Bye-bye.
And Crit was ready with the Glimmer Care. I guess they saw him come out of the trees or something there, because they were kind of aware of what he was up to. Maybe saw him go into the Shadow Blade.
Swift reactions, gonna force Era to step back and reevaluate things. Fly has got to be very close. Well, he's got Ogre Club for now. There's the Talisman now picked up for the Butterfly. But Fly's getting closer to his Agnes, and he's got level 11.
No. Casual press the attack, just for safety.
I'm sure NiP were hoping, but by this point, Jonas was going to have like 80 damage or something. More to be a follow-up late-game core. Right now, it just feels like lots of pressure on Era and their huge high-ground defense to kind of pull a net worth swing back their way so that these cores could get the items, and they're going for it on Miracle. Glimpse back, and he pops his mech. There's the combo. Viper finally goes down. Moon trying to get a follow-up crush. He's going to swing and miss. No-Tail now looking to commit in, trying to go for Jonas. They turn back. What a Winter's Curse! He'll lose his life for it, but they might be able to claim a second. And they get a 3-for-2 trade, but here comes No-Tail now. Rocket Barrage onto Era. Him and Limp gonna try to kite out this Gyrocopter. The BKB is gonna be ending here, and they're gonna look to go in. Jonas commits in. Does not have a duel, but they got the kill. A big fight for NiP, and look at the lob. They're going for more. They want a 5-man wipe, and it looks like they're gonna get it here. NiP have done it. What a hell of a fight. They get a good catch on the Miracle. It takes a lot of muscle power to bring the Viper down, but they get it done. OG commit in, and Moon does not get a good crush, and NiP take the fight.
And that fight just, so much just comes down to getting the one big pick off to start things off. Once Viper's out of the picture, that fight just goes so much smoother for NiP, and they've got a pretty huge team fight as well as just damage output. It's just always hard to bring the Viper down.
So much farm from that.
If OG are there, like, with 4 other heroes around the Viper, like, yeah, you bring down the Viper, but the entire time OG's doing huge counter damage to you, but they rock up when the Viper's already dead, and also, like, normally this is where you'd see Viper go more tanky, like go into a Heart of Tarrasque or a BKB. Going for the Eagle Song doesn't help against this predominantly magic damage lineup for NiP. The evasion's going to be kind of nice against the Jewel, but this Legion's less about the right-click damage and more about like the Blade Mail and the Lockdown. Tiny has been more about the Stun Toss combo. Will go into a carry build, but it feels like a Heart would have maybe offered more this game.
I was just going to say that. Maybe something like a Heart. It's a lot more durability.
Heart or an Ag Scepter. Like, it's even the BKB. Like, I mean, BKB's always great. He died to a glimpse. If he has a BKB there, he lives.
I mean, he's got his Butterfly now. We'll have to see if it's going to be worth it for him. They're looking to go in for a second swing. This is going to be while they hope some of those big ultimates are down. But hey, Static Storm's already good to go. Curse just came off cooldown. Sonic Wave still needs 20 more seconds, but OG are hoping for a pick-off here and then a follow-up into the Roche if possible. And No-Tail heads in, and him and his Ogre friend are going to get things started here. And it does not look like NiP will contest. But because of that big fight, look how much farm they were able to get. Era finished out his Agnum Scepter, Queen of Pain. She already has an Ags of Yules, and it looks like she's going to be going for an AC, I imagine, maybe? Maybe a Shiva's on her Queen of Pain.
Yeah, I think both are okay. AC maybe a little better.
AC is more that fighting Queen of Pain build up. So
I like the AC better this game against. I mean, the Slider giving your whole team.
You need the armor to help your team against this amp damage for sure.
Yep. I think Shiva's just not quite as, like, you don't need the kiting slow so much again. Your slider is sprint,
Maybe
Viper's
on the
just
tiny,
stands there.
or yeah.
We'll see. I mean, typically, I guess we see a bit of both, but I think we see like a little bit more Shivas like than AC, but I like the AC more.
Yeah. Oh, they're going to get the Rax mid lane. NiP just kind of expected that was going to happen, but do they expect OG to kind of shuffle over to the bottom lane now? Eventually, you're going to have to pull out that big defense here, and it's again on these supports. They got to land big ultimates like they did in that previous fight here. Seal Kid's inching on forward. Good damage on the no-tail. Will they glimpse him back for the committed kill on the Aegis, hopefully? Gonna get caught in the kinetic field here, and they will drop the Sonic Wave. It actually hits Miracle as well, so he eats a chunk of damage, and I think OG might just pull away with that. And it looks like they will. They get a tier 3 down on the bottom. We already know they cleared out the mid lane here, but NiP are not looking to overcommit their ultimates if not necessary.
And a melee Rax is enough, and very much, again, it wasn't the best, no, it was a terrible team fight for OG, but they still maintain their lead. They're maintaining map control. It's going to take more than just the one team wipe for NiP to get back in this game. 2, then we're looking at close to even. 3, and NiP will be ahead.
I have more confidence in this game too for a team like NiP to come back than I did in the previous game for OG to come back, just because of their huge high ground defense and like we saw it there in the mid game.
They've got damage output to go like they're actually playing towards something. Like they've got a late game carry, they've got cores as well as supports who offer along the late game. Last game was like, well, you've got this like Lich and you've got defensive capabilities, Jakiro. Like they never had any spells that like a Winter's Curse can win you a team fight by killing off a hero by itself. Yeah. Tiny can just kill someone by himself. Similar for the Quap with the Sonic Wave. So they've got all these big playmaking heroes, which OG did not have last game for the potential comeback.
Lots of playmaking though on the side of OG for going on the offensive now that Fly has finished out his Agnum Scepter. If Moon leads in with a huge crush and they guaranteed land a good Ice Blast, NiP can't just step back to the fountain, regen up and get right back into the fray. They better hope that their one go is going to be good enough at that point. So, and obviously if NiP are to swing and miss some of those ultimates, that could be the game. So pressure on them. They're going to hold off as much as possible here. It gives NiP that much more time to build up necessary buybacks and maybe that next big item for a hold, but OG don't want to give them any sort of extra time. They continue to pressure out, especially now in this mid lane. And it looks like they will migrate over here towards the top. 3 NiP members waiting out, Seal Kid in the back. They have the vision though to see that OG's coming in, and Fly is like, get that vision out of here.
Yep. Well, D-Ward and for OG, a minute and a half or so left, or 2 minutes left on the Aegis now. See if they can get this bottom lane pushed in. Jonas,
get out of there. Jonas, he's got blink now. Use it. Oh my goodness.
Ooh.
Quick draw. Able to make it away from the crush there, Moon. It was a second. 1 second for that cooldown.
I think Miracle was actually showed himself when he didn't need to there. Again, it's like the communication and just general coordination for OG is not quite as polished as we're used to seeing. Like if Miracle just let Moon go first to cancel the blink, that would have probably just been a kill.
Yep.
He can go for a TP, but he can try and chance it against the Slaughter Bash, but then you at least have a chance to kill him.
Gotta have faith in your team. I know maybe in your AK pubs, sometimes you can't put all the faith in your initiator and support to kind of set things up, and you want to go in there and, be the hero. But Moon, he is a capable off-lane initiator here, and if he's given the opportunity to lead in there with the crush, you can certainly knock it down after. But look at this Era. Sweeps in, but he walks over a sentry. Now heads up to the high ground, but it does not look like OG know he has changed course here.
He's got a lot of wards. Okay, now OG knows. There's wards all over this bottom side of the map.
He's going to push out bottom here, but he needs 2 more seconds for a TP. Do OG take the bait and try to go for air on the bottom lane?
OG are just waiting for the Viper BKB right now. And they're even willing to just give up the Aegis timing to have a BKB on Miracle before they try and push. And very much stalling the game out. They've got BKB, they've got Aegis for a little longer. Relocate in!
Oh, they caught Era here. Moon this time was able to lead in with the crush. There's a relocate. There's an Ice Blast, and there's a kill.
And that's what I feel like he's playing that cocky down bottom because OG have not managed to successfully do what is a fairly straightforward pick off there. The blink crush and then the immediate relocate.
Oh, and skin. Oh, that's a call down. We'll have to sidestep it here. And that's it. All right, call down.
And not too big a deal. They've lost Aegis anyway, so if they want to push, they're going to probably just wait the call down. It's not like they were in a rush to go and push with Aegis.
They want Era to use this buyback.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They're pushing in Jonas, though. Look at this position. Is this a setup for a buyback fight?
Yeah, I think if NiP is probably saying, if we're going to use our tiny buyback, we want to make sure we win a big fight.
Is he going to go for the Wisp, though? Who do you think you jump in and quickly try to take out?
Slider, possibly?
Oh, he wants the fly. He moves in right away, and quickly OG are like, wait, what the hell's happening? We lost him. Fly's going to be going down. Moo goes in with a crush. Limp looking to commit in, and Era did buy back. Jonas will be going down, though, and it might be too late for Era to get in there and get some work done. They're already going to be losing the one. Jonas is going to be forced to buy back now. Miracle committing in, looking to go for Era. Has the vision with the sentry. Era trying to walk out from it. Will make it back and away. They drop a kinetic field to separate him a bit, and they got to step back and heal. But now the Rax under a bit of pressure. Miracle looking to go in for Jonas. Jonas pops the blade mail. Miracle changes target. Ghost Scepter is going to be popped, and now OG will step back and go right back for the Rax.
Yeah.
Cute little glimpse is going to keep him away, and now he puts his sights back onto Jonas here. Jonas will be going down. That's a dieback for him. Limp. Oh, beautiful Yules into the crush, and it looks like we could be going to a Game 3, gods, as OG will now look to clean out the last two set of Rax.
Not perfect play by any means, but they had just a really big advantage and great late game heroes. There's not really, I mean, the Viper last pick had no real counters and that's crushed. That's brutal. Era, if he goes down, it's all over. It's all over regardless.
Moon, though. Oh, he won't get Moon. Limp goes in. He's like, I got him for you. Don't worry. We can take that with us.
Kill Rampage? No. No tail denies him.
No feather in the cap for you. And it looks like it is going to be a Game 3 now as OG take game number 2.
Yep. That was a solid showing from OG. Much better drafting, I feel, all in all. The Viper pick really pulled everything together. It's not a flashy hero, but it was the hero that fit the draft, and Miracle showing, look, I'll do what I got to do. I'll play something other than the mid-Rubiks or the win ranges, whatever it may be, if that's going to get us a win. And for OG there, Summit 4 hopes stay alive. They did it yesterday. They came back after losing game 1. They got stomped in game 1 by VP and then won the next 2. So